welcome back to Geometry. We are moving on to the Day 7 notes from Unit 13. They are on Canvas. You can print them or write them on your own paper. We are moving on to surface area and volume of pyramids and cones. The main difference between pyramids, cones, and the previous stuff with the cylinder and the prisms is that these guys are only going to have one base. All right, the pyramids we're going to deal with are all going to have square bases. They can have other shapes, but the ones we're going to deal with will have square bases. And then a cylinder, sorry, not a cylinder, a cone will have a circular base. The vertex, all right, is the point where the lateral faces intersect. So the vertex is going to be this point here and this point here. Those are the vertices, the vertex. The base is always going to be the side that is opposite the vertex. All right, so you can see that this would be the base here and this would be the base here. The height is going to be the perpendicular distance between the vertex and the center of the base. So this red dashed line here, that's going to be the height of your pyramid or height of your cone. Slant height is something we haven't dealt with yet. Slant height is going to be the distance from the vertex to the center of the lateral edge or a point on the circular base. So this green line here is going to be our slant height. The slant height is going to be represented with like a cursive lowercase l. So this green line here is your slant height. All right. So on the pyramid, it's going to go along the middle of the side. It will always be perpendicular, by the way, to that base there. And then on a cone, it's just going to go along the side like so. All right, we're going to use the slant height for a couple things. Lateral area is going to again be the area of everything but the base. And the formula is going to be 1/2 times p, the perimeter, and again the perimeter of the base. So whether it's the square or the circle, times the slant height, that little lowercase l. The surface area is going to be the area of everything, including the base. That's why we have this lovely little plus b here. So it's going to be the lateral area plus the area of the base. So it's the lateral area plus the area of the base. And you'll need to know how to find the area of a circle or the area of a square. Volume is a little bit different. It's 1/3 area of the base times the height. All right, so 1/3 area of the base times, again, the height is going to be the height of the pyramid or cone. All right, so we're going to do some practice here. Find the area of the base. Okay, I told you that all the bases for pyramids would be a square. So if we know one side's 12, all the other sides are 12. If you want to draw the base off to the side, go ahead. All right, we're finding the area of a square. We learned how to do that before. You just do 12 times 12. You're going to get 144 square meters. That's the area of the base. The lateral area is going to be the 1/2 times perimeter of the base times the slant height. So we need to find the perimeter of the base. Again, if you want to draw the base off to the side, you can do so. The base is the square. Perimeter is going to be 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, or 12 times 4. You're going to get 48 meters. The slant height, we know. The slant height is this guy here, this dark black line here. It goes along the side through the middle of this side. So that's 10. 10 is our slant height. So the lateral area is 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height. So the lateral area is 1/2 times the perimeter, 48, times the slant height, 10. And you're going to end up with an answer of 240 square meters. The surface area is the lateral area plus the area of the base. Well, we have the lateral area and we have the area of the base. That makes it easy. All right, so the surface area is going to be LA plus B. LA, the lateral area, is 240. Area of the base is 144. Add those together, you're going to get 384 square meters. The volume is the tricky part. The volume for this one is 1/3 area of the base, which we know, times the height. This time we don't know the height. We know the slant height. The height is this line that's going to go from here to here. We don't know the height. This is the tricky part. What you're going to end up doing is using the height and the slant height to make a triangle. Notice it makes a right triangle. This piece here is exactly half of this distance. So if this is 12, this piece here is 6. It's always going to cut it in half because it goes to the middle. Let me draw this triangle over here. So if we draw this triangle over here, we have 6, we have H, and we have 10. So notice that we have 2 out of the 3 sides of a right triangle. What do we get to do? Once again, Pythagorean Theorem. We're going to do h squared plus 6 squared equals 10 squared, and then you're going to solve, and the height is going to be 8. So volume, now we can do it. 1/3 area of the base, 144, times the height of 8. Multiply that together, you're going to get 384 cubic meters. The surface area and the volume, by the way, will not always be the same. I don't know why, but it just worked out that way. But don't assume they'll always be equal. All right, let's go to the next page. For number 2, we're going to kind of change this around a little bit. We're just going to do the lateral area of this thing. All right, don't worry about the words that go with it. So for the lateral area, okay, the lateral area of a pyramid is going to be 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height. All right, so perimeter, we can find that. The base is a square, and you can see each side is 18. If you want to draw the square off to the side, you can do so. All right, perimeter of that guy is going to be 18 times 4. All right, and so we can find the perimeter of that, and it's going to be 72 inches. The slant height's the tricky part, because 15 is this piece here. That's not the slant height. The slant height goes along the middle of the side. So this is our slant height here, which we don't know. The slant height does make a right angle with this bottom piece. Now, this whole thing we know is 18. This slant height coming down cuts that into 2 pieces of 9 and 9. So if you look at just this right triangle that I've created, I've got L, 9, and 15. We're going to have to do Pythagorean Theorem to find the missing sides. So Pythagorean Theorem comes up a lot. L squared plus 9 squared equals 15 squared. Solve for L, and you're going to end up with 12 for your slant height. So now we can find the lateral area. Lateral area is 1/2 times the perimeter, 72, times the slant height of 12, and you're going to get 432 square inches. All right, so that's how that one would work. And then cones are very, very much the same. Lateral area is the area of everything but the base. In this case, the base is a circle. You're going to do 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height. Remember that the perimeter is the circumference. So 2 times radius times pi, or diameter times pi. Slant height is this guy here. Surface area is going to be the 1/2 PL, just like the lateral area is, plus B, the area of the base. Area of a circle, remember, is radius squared times pi. So this surface area is the same thing as lateral area plus B, because there's only one base. We don't have 2, it's 1. Volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. This time we're using the height. The height goes from the very tip here, the vertex, to the center of the circle. All right, so let's try this. We're going to find the area of the base. So the base is a circle. Area of the base is radius squared times pi. The radius is 7. 7 squared times pi. You're going to get 49 pi square inches. The lateral area is 1/2 times the perimeter of the base times the slant height. Perimeter of the base means circumference. So the perimeter of the base is 2 times radius times pi. 2 times 7 times pi. You're going to get 14 pi inches. So we have 1/2 times the perimeter, 14 pi, times the slant height. We do not have the slant height. This 24 is the height. The slant height is this guy. It's always at a slant. So we need to do Pythagorean Theorem. Once again, 7 squared plus 24 squared equals L squared. And when you solve for L, you're going to get 25. So the slant height is 25 inches. And so now we can plug that in. 1/2 perimeter times slant height. Multiply these together. On your calculator, do everything but the pi. You can just tack it on at the end like we did with circles and area before. 175 pi square inches. Surface area is the lateral area plus the area of the base. We know both of those. That makes it nice and easy to do. Lateral area is 175 pi. Area of the base is 49 pi. You want to be careful because you want to make sure you did everything correctly. If your surface area Your surface area will be wrong if one of these pieces above it is wrong, so you have to be careful. You get 224 pi square inches. Volume is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Well, we know all of those. The area of the base is 49 pi. The height is 24, not 25. Multiply those together and you're going to end up with 392 pi, and this one will be cubic units because it is volume. All right, so that's how that one works. Let's see, we're going to skip number 4. Let's skip these guys for right now. Let's go to number 7. It says the lateral area of a cone is 77 pi square millimeters. If the diameter is 14, what's the slant height? Well, lateral area of a cone, let me write this down, is 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height. Now, we know the lateral area, so I'm going to replace the LA with 77 pi. The perimeter we don't know, but we can find it though, okay? Because the perimeter of a cone is going to be the same thing as circumference. So it's either 2 times radius times pi or diameter times pi. We know the diameter is 14, so we can easily find the perimeter. Diameter times pi. 14 pi is my perimeter. So I'm going to plug in 14 pi for the perimeter. The slant height I don't know. And it wants me to find the slant height. So this now is just like an algebra problem. Half of 14 pi is 7 pi. And then divide by 7 pi to get L by itself. And when you do that, you're going to get 11. Okay, the pi's cancel out. 77 divided by 7 is 11. And don't forget units, it will be millimeters. It's not area or volume, so it doesn't have like a square or a cubed. All right. For number 4, same idea. Number 8, same idea. You're going to do the volume of a square pyramid is 100 cubic centimeters. If the height of the pyramid is 12, find the area of the base. What's the perimeter of the base? So volume of a pyramid. Okay, the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. We know the volume's 100. Area of the base we don't know yet, but the height we do know. It's 12. So 1/3 times b times 12. 1/3 times 12 is 4. And then divide by 4. The area of the base is going to be 100, and since it's area, it's going to be square units. So the area of the base is 100 square centimeters. They want to know what the perimeter is. Well, think about this shape. It's a square. All right. We know that all of these sides are congruent because it's a square. When you multiply the two sides together, you get 100 because that's the area. What times what is 100? It'd have to be 10 times 10 because they have to be equal. And that means that all of these sides are 10. The perimeter then would be 10 times 4 or 40 centimeters. Since it's perimeter, doesn't have square units. All right. Well, I'd like you to try number 5 and number 6 up above. So go ahead and give those a try. Okay, so going through number 5, what I did here was I needed to find the slant height. So I drew in the slant height here. I created a right triangle. This bottom piece will be half of 80, so 40, 49 and L. All right, you can draw it separately if you need to. So 9 squared plus 40 squared equals L squared. The slant height's going to be 41 centimeters. All right. The base is a square. You can draw it off to the side if you need to. Perimeter is going to be 80 plus 80 4 times, or 80 times 4. You get 320 centimeters. The area of the base, 80 times 80, you're going to get 6,400 square centimeters. So lateral area is 1/2 times perimeter times slant height. We've got the slant height. We've got the perimeter. Plug it in. Get 6,560. Surface area is lateral area plus the area of the base. So this number plus the area of the base. And you get 12,960 square centimeters. Volume 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. And you get 19,200 cubic centimeters. Number 6, I drew in the height. I don't know what it is. This piece gets cut in half to be 15. 25 is your slant height. You can do your Pythagorean Theorem. All right. If you need to draw the triangle off to the side, go ahead. You can do h squared plus 15 squared equals 25 squared. You get a height of 20 centimeters. The perimeter is the same thing as the circumference. Diameter times pi, 30 times pi. Area of the base is radius squared times pi. So 225 pi. And then you can plug everything in as needed. All right, 1/2 times perimeter times slant height, lateral area plus the area of the base, and 1/3 times the area of the base times the height.